Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's another edition of the No Huddle. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It is homecoming season, but there's not much homecoming flavor to go around. Unless you like that virtual thing now. There's plenty of that, and that's cool as well. But there's nothing like the real thing, baby. When you can be there, you can smell the pork chop, the barbecue, the vegan burgers, like whatever your thing is. Maybe next year, but we always have the memories, right? So on this episode of the No Huddle, we're going to go back down memory lane. I'm Tali Carr, everyone in Atlanta. Let's get to North Carolina and my two partners. We got Stephen J. Gaither and Wally Pitt. Guys, look, there's always an East Coast bias with us. We all have roots to North Carolina, so I think it would be apropos to start the conversation with GHOE, as much as it hurts me to say that. GHOE, which is the first place I ever met Stephen J. Gaither. And Wally Pitt, you have laid down plenty of videotape on the campus of North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, man, GHOE is always one of those staples. You know, coming from North Carolina, even in high school, you know, it's one of those things where you always go. Whether you like A&T, hate A&T, are in college or not, you're going to pull up at something for GHOE. But, I mean, it's always been a staple, and especially since I've been shooting them, man, they've been fun. Like, just memories on top of memories. Old buddy talking about that damn pork chop, how it was GHOE on a plate.
Oh, get it. Go. Go. Oh, go. Oh.
Hey, the food maker do that, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Now, if you got to pick one favorite today, what's your favorite thing off the plate?
This damn pork chop. This damn pork chop. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't think you understand what I'm saying. This pork chop. Zoom into it, man. Make sure you get it real good. Get all that grease in that sauce. Get all that. You see them grill marks on there too? Make sure you get all that good stuff.
That's GHOE right there. GHOE on a plate. GHOE on a plate. That's what that is.
You can do that, man.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
Everybody I saw in 2019, I got a little bit of everything. I got the Black Excellence Parade in 2019. But yeah, it's just a good time and free plates. Which, you know, that's what I'm there for.
Steve, I'm sure you have drummed up plenty of smoke while you were at A&T. You just find the way to get into trouble. What are some great GHOE memories for you?
Yeah, I think for me, definitely, you know, I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have that connection there. The first time I went was, I think, 2014 when I met you. And actually, I met you before that, but you don't remember that. But we'll skip over that part. It was, you know, you were the big guy. I was just a student then. But it was
what has changed?
Right.
What has changed
in your eyes? So not my height though, but your hair. But yeah, it was a great year. 2014, FAMU showed up to Greensboro for GHOE, and they brought the Marching 100 with them, which wasn't something that they do a lot. So that was big, and we haven't seen them in Greensboro since. It was a great show. You know, we'll remember that day. 2016, obviously the year that me and Wally was there for Tariq Cohen's senior year, and he did his dive right into the end zone, and he just went off on FAMU again. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just it's a special atmosphere, no doubt about it. You know, to have all those people there, the energy, you know, the cues on the field and all of that great stuff. I mean, it's an experience. It is an experience all its own.
Welcome back to the No Huddle, everyone. I'm Tali Carr, joined by Stephen J. Gaither for this segment. Stephen, we talked about GHOE in the last block. Let's go back to the year 2012. Where were you? Had you graduated in 2012? Where were you in your life at that point 8 years ago?
I had definitely graduated. I graduated 2009 from Winston-Salem State University, and 2012 was the birth of HBCU Game Day 1.0. It was, so actually the homecoming that year, I just started the website. So actually the homecoming that year didn't get credentialed. I was parking lot. I was in the parking lot. Tailgate. I was in the tailgate. It was a little struggle with some places to get in. So
hey, shout out Kevin Mans. Good looking out, Kevin.
Yeah. So it was a tough year. It was fun year, just trying something new and trying something different, trying to figure out how to make this HBCU thing, work out. So
hey, it was a great year for Winston-Salem State. That was a year Connell Maynard was there. They were coming off back-to-back years there, or in the midst of back-to-back years where no one had an answer for the Rams then.
Yeah, I mean, they went. I think they went. What was it? 13 and I think they were 12-1 the last year. 13-1, made it all the way to the national semifinals. When I was there a little bit earlier, I don't think that they had won 13 games probably in the last 2 or 3 years that I was there. So it was definitely a big time for WSSU, making a run at a Division II national championship. Cam Smith, shout out to him. He had a phenomenal year, and they were a D1 team playing at D1 in D2 football, and it showed for most of that year, especially that game against Livingstone.
Livingstone on the road visiting the number 2 team in the country for their homecoming, Winston-Salem State. Slow start to this game, only one score in the first quarter. Cameron Smith hooking up with Jamal Williams. Livingstone playing some tough defense early. Big hit from Malcolm Childress. But second quarter, all Rams. Cameron Smith on fire, throwing 5 touchdown passes in the first half. Touchdown roll call, Jawan Butler. Jamie DeGear from 15 yards. Jamez Massey, another favorite target of Smith. And Jamal Williams, his second touchdown of the game. Rams lead it 34-0 at the half. Now, if they reboot the Matrix franchise, Jamez Massey should go to the casting call. Look at these moves, evading tackles, 30 yards for the score. Cameron Smith, a school record 7 touchdowns. Rams win it big, 58-0 over Livingstone. Time to wave goodbye. Welcome back, everyone, to the No Huddle. You can go to hbcugameday.com right now. You can get a lot of great information, news, sports, culture. You can also get your 10% off discount code for the latest gear from Cross Color. So there's a lot of great things happening at hbcugameday.com. But the greatness cannot happen until you arrive there. So look, you know how to do 2 screens, watch the TV, or maybe you're watching on your tablet. That new iOS update, man, you can do like 8 things on your screen at the same time. But hbcugameday.com. All right, a little game of this or that. Which one is better? GHOE or Howard's Homecoming? You got the strength of the South there in Greensboro versus the flavor of DC. You guys have been to both. I've been to Howard. I have not been to a Howard homecoming. How do we rate these things? How did they shake out, Wally?
Me and Steve both went to GHOE and Howard homecoming last year, pretty close together if I remember correctly. Man, they're both great and so different that it's really hard to even compare them. For me, especially, in 2019, Howard's homecoming was like a concert that took up a whole block, whereas GHOE is more like a family reunion that took up a whole stadium. There was definitely more cooking at GHOE. There was definitely more RVs and old heads. But Howard's homecoming, I stepped out and was immediately felt underdressed. It was just young folks popping everywhere. I usually don't feel old, but Howard homecoming walking down the street, I was like, bro, we might be the oldest people out here. And they were club ready. I mean, this is after the game, but club ready, packed. They had day parties. So, they're hard to compare. And I honestly can't give you a winner. We're going to have to let the viewers find out who really won.
Steve, did you see Tyrone? Never mind. How would you rate the experience, Steve?
I definitely think it was an experience that I wanted to get in and soak my feet into. We were there. It was so much going on. The city was flooded. It's just Greensboro and Washington, D.C. are just 2 different places. And I think that's what you saw. But all of it you saw, I think that the best thing about homecomings is just that intergenerational connection of a place that means a lot to a lot of people. I don't know that you ever get that array of people, people from 70-year-olds to 70-year-olds to 87-year-olds who are going to come out. They're going to enjoy themselves. They're going to have somebody that they're with and they can hang with and that they can, connect with. And I think, both places you saw that. DC, we got treated to a great food truck. Wally had to kind of talk me into it. I was a little skeptical, but he talked me into it, and I was definitely licking my fingers at the end. So shout out to that brother. It's just two different places, and I think that North Carolina A&T has a lot of momentum behind them right now. But I think Howard has been the standard, and I think that North Carolina A&T, they were smart to trademark that GHOE thing, but I definitely can see why Howard feels the way that they do, just with their history, their legacy, and everything that they have going on, and their star power, I think, is a little bit bigger as well.
Okay, we got GHOE on the left. We got Howard on the right. We're going to put them on the starting line, and we're going to let you be the judge of who's the winner. Let's start off with taking a look back at GHOE 2019.
Back on the yard at 1601 East Market Street for the greatest homecoming on earth.
You already know, greatest homecoming in the world. Don't let anybody tell you different.
And they might need to change the T in A&T to tailgate, because the grills were smoking and every Aggie I saw had a clean bone in hand.
We gotta have fish every homecoming. Fried fish every homecoming, brother. Aggie pride.
And the family reunion vibes were extra heavy. I met all types of black excellence in the GHOE tailgate.
I came to A&T in 1959. During my freshman year, we started the sit-in demonstration at Woodworth. I have met some of the most outstanding leaders in the world right here at A&T.
Lieutenant Governor Hopefuls.
I'm a Howard alumni, let me say that.
And that's why she's here with us to show out.
But my sister went to A&T, and I represent North Carolina in the General Assembly, and I'm going to be the next Lieutenant Governor of the state of North Carolina.
Miss Black USA.
Hey, I'm Shonda Branch, and I am your Ms. Black USA.
As well as my own kinfolk. Sybil, the voice behind the cookout classic Don't Make Me Over, who was also Miss A&T back in her day.
Honey, I was on the stage in Corbett doing my thing. So they asked me to come back, and I did a homecoming show here at Corbett, and it was great. And what the beauty was, line dancing was a big deal, like electric slide. They ended up electric sliding to Don't Make Me Over, but it was fab. The whole floor filled with nothing but Aggies and Aggie supporters just doing a dance together. So for me, it was really cool. So the minute that don't make me, don't make me, don't. Once that hit, I was good.
No cap, you simply cannot get this type of energy anywhere else but in HBCU homecoming, and I do believe GHOE lived all the way up to its name, especially once I got down to the field, because the Aggies brought that same tailgate energy into the stadium. My side was crunker than your side. We had an alumni swag surf that was topped off by Miss Parker, who brought her split back with her to homecoming. And all my favorite former Aggies came back home, and of course they brought them rings with them.
Homecoming, the boys going crazy. Hey, guess what? Y'all in there, we gonna win out. We still going to the celebration boat. I got the rings on me. I ain't got all of them, but I still got them on me, baby.
Now A&T's whole squad was Aggie after their loss in Florida last week, and the Howard Bison were sitting ducks as the dogs went completely off the leash. Jermaine Martin setting it off like Cleo. Old buddy tries to take him down by the locks, but the roots stem strong. Jermaine Martin, 65 yards for the score, 7-0 A&T in the first. Now, Howard did have exactly one highlight in this one. Quentin Williams keeps the read and takes it for a 12-yard score, then makes a bold statement about the Aggie D. A couple field goals makes it 13-6 Aggies. Howard going forward on fourth down and won't nothing sweet this time. Williams gets sacked to force the turnover on downs, and before I can get to the other side, Jermaine Martin had ran it 55 yards for another touchdown. I got there just in time to see him going live with former Aggie linebacker Adrian McPherson. 20-6 A&T. And A&T keeps the hits coming like Motown in the 60s. Khalil Carter was cruising as he breaks loose for this 28-yard touchdown. Then Carter hits the GOAT, Elijah Bell. Most receivers got hands, E-Bell only needs fingers. That's a 40-yard touchdown to make it 34-6 at the half. And that catch even had Lamar Bernard and Denzel Keys reminiscing about how they used to get down not too long ago. It was a blue and gold solo show at the half, and the marching machine put on for the GHOE crowd. It was all gas, no break for A&T in the second half. Khalil Carter, play action. He finds Elijah Bell, who was looking like that other wideout from West Virginia on this one. 5 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns for Wheeling, West Virginia's own E. Bell to go. Then it's back to the Conway killer, Jermaine Martin, 9 yards untouched for another score, 138 yards and 3 touchdowns on only 7 carries. Jermaine is having himself a year that's gonna end in a whole lot of trophies. It's 47-6 A&T, and the Aggie D was showing that it still ain't sweet out here for Howard at GHOE. Greensboro's own Chris Mosley with the incredible falling one-handed interception.
Williams' pass is intercepted by number 39, Greensboro's own Chris Mosley.
A&T gets the ball back, and Jalen Fowler throws a screen pass to Zach Leslie, who drags 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bison with him into the end zone. That makes the score 54-6 A&T. They call them blowouts. We call it a mollywop, and it ain't even over yet. The Aggies lead the Bison with one last parting shot. The freshman, TJ Boyce, with a cut, a stiff arm, and the 8th and final touchdown of GHOE 2019. 64-6 is the final score as the Aggies dominate the Bison and look forward to some big games in the next few weeks that will determine if the Aggies can three-peat as the MEAC champs.
Welcome back to the No Huddle. It's the Memory Lane edition. Stephen J. Gaither, you literally look like you are on Memory Lane right now, where you are posted up. As you see Stephen J. Gaither recite lyrics, he's an old soul if you haven't figured that out. That's a pretty snazzy sweatshirt he has as well. Make sure you go to hbcugameday.com. You can get some of that fresh gear there. Even, if you like to visit our YouTube channel, we're now selling merchandise on our YouTube channel. So we got you covered everywhere. All right, let's get back to this homecoming debate. At last check, we had GHOE over here. We had Howard over here. We've shown you GHOE 19 in the previous block. All right, let's get into this Howard thing.
What can I say about homecoming in the Mecca of Black excellence? Well, the parade had King T'Challa and Killmonger together, swerving in charges. The food was incredible, authentic, and made with that good HBCU love. And we ain't even need Destiny's Child to have the HBCU tailgate tour jumping. It was a party on campus, but the vibe on the field was all business. Howard came into their homecoming with news about players transferring and all types of other drama surrounding their football team. But the guys who suited up in Bison Blue didn't seem to care about none of that noise. They were focused and ready to put on for HU.
HU! 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 HU!
Norfolk State came to DC with the taste of a bad loss in their mouth and feeling some kind of way about being scheduled for homecoming.
Let's go!
And I got a feeling these two squads might not like each other too much, because as you can see here, these boys was out here ready for whatever.
Kevin Johnson on the carry.
Norfolk State opened things up with a Savage in the backfield, and yes, I mean Aaron Savage. He bullies his way for 37 yards, a run that leads to an easy 4-yard score for Kevin Johnson, 7-0 Norfolk early in the first. Howard coming right back at the Spartans' neck though. Dedrick Parsons up the gut with a juke, a shoulder dip, and a dive for a touchdown. That ties the game back up at 7. Very next drive, Juwan Carter, they call him Pootie. He takes it back to the schoolyard with Tyler Michelini. Pootie say, bruh, just go long. Ty was like, I got you, fam. They connected for 15 yards down to the 4. A penalty backs them up 15, but that ain't no thing to the Spartans. They come back with a 19-yard score from Carter to DeKendall James, and the green and gold is back up 14-7. But it ain't no back down from the Bison on the next drive. Quentin Williams hits Damian Gillespie for a nice 25-yard reception. That sets up a Josiah Crute 4-yard score, and the game's tied back up at 14. Pootie Carter turning into King Leonidas for the Spartans on the next drive. He hits Raekwon Smith on a screen. The chef takes it 41 yards down to the 37. Then Carter getting it in with his legs. He makes a strong cut, shakes off a jersey tug, takes it 19 yards, and they still can't take him to the ground. Then he goes in his bag of tricks. You think it's a pass left, but it's a run right. Wide open touchdown by Mr. Carter, and Norfolk is back up 21-14. And yes, the trend will continue. Norfolk takes the lead, but Howard will tie it back up. You got to ignore the push-off because they didn't call it. Quentin Williams, Kyle Anthony corner the end zone for 6. Talk about a back-and-forth half, 21-21 tie ball game once again. Norfolk State showing that there is no tit without a little tat. Under a minute left in the half, the boy Pootie dropping a dime on Justin Smith. He makes a great catch. Spartans win the first half back and forth 28-21. Norfolk State up going into halftime. Now Howard had the homecoming halftime all to themselves, and they started out with some pomp and circumstances with the coronation of the royal court, but then it was show enough showtime as Howard's band put their whole leg in this halftime performance.
Okay, you have seen both. You can decide. We're not going to declare a winner. We don't want the smoke from GHOE. We don't want the smoke from Howard. But you at home, you know which one you're leaning to. Or maybe it's a tie. Whatever the case. It's been a lot of fun talking about homecoming this week. It is homecoming season. We're celebrating it virtually, but there's nothing like the real thing, baby. Steven, don't finish the song. Don't do that. Don't do that. On behalf of the entire crew, because I know he could. Wally Pitt, Stephen J. Gaither hanging out in North Carolina on this beautiful day. I'm Tali Carr in Atlanta. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We enjoy your company as always. We'll see you at HBCUGameDay.com.